Now you need measurements.
Yeah. Well, then stay standing.
Okay, we have a set of minutes from the September 10th meeting. I looked here Friday and read them, and they looked okay to me on that date.
I wasn't here, so they look grammatically correct, but I can't say anything about the content.
Motion to approve.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes as to grammar.
Oh, yes, you can. TJ?
Yes. Okay.
That's what's reserved.
Donna Hucker is here. She sent an email request to the office. Would like to use one or a couple of our properties for a geocaching. And let's see, we looked it up and we saw that it's a pretty popular thing amongst parks and township properties and various other municipalities around the whole area. So with that, I'll ask Donna to bring us up to speed on geocaching.
Okay, I didn't know how many to make, so I really don't have enough for everyone, but I can give you a little packet of information. I won't go through it all, but you can take it home with you. Get questions in if you want. So, and I have props too. Geocaching is a new hobby that my husband Bill and I started when we retired, and it involves going out. A lot of times it's in woods or forests or in natural areas, and you're looking for, like, not buried treasures, but little containers. And here are my props. They can look anything from this to something bigger like this. And this is the absolute biggest I've ever seen, something this size. Yeah, right. And the main thing is you put these things out in a woods, or really could be almost anywhere. And the hunt is you have a GPS system, the coordinates are published, and you go to find these things. And you do that so you can sign a piece of paper to say, yes, I found it. And then you register that on the internet, and you can keep track of all the things that you find. So that's where I know I called the office. I said, well, what would I have to do if I wanted to place a cache on one of the township properties? And I don't know if Nancy's here. I don't know Nancy.
No, she's not.
Oh, okay. She said, well, I don't know. What I'd like to do in the meeting. So here I am. That's my question of what policy we have, if we have any, and what we would have to do if we'd like to do something like that. In the packet I gave you, it has the first page with what geocaching is, and a lot of times in the actual container itself, you would put this in there because someone might just stumble upon it and say, hey, what is this? This is junk. It doesn't look like junk, you know. So it explains what it is, gives a website, etc. And then the next 2 pages is the geocaching.com website gives guidelines of what to do and how to place the cache. So one of the main things, well, it's always safety. You have to get the permission of the property owner, which is why I'm here too. The caches can't be any closer than a tenth of a mile to each other. Then it says how you maintain them. You can't just put them there and never look at them again. Anything else?
It cannot be buried.
It cannot be buried.
You can't damage any trees. You can't drill into trees or anything to place them. And you can't put anything in them that would be food or ammunition or anything like that.
It's got to be family friendly. In fact, one of mine, this would be typical. You go in the woods and this would be so exciting. So you get your piece of paper to sign. And a lot of times you'll find a pen. You might find something like this, a clip, something for a little kid. This is very common. This is one I threw in a bong to a beer barrel, but that's not me. But whatever you would like, and a little treasure. Sometimes people.
And then you have to list everything that was in there to confirm that you actually found it?
No, actually, in here, there's a little log. And you put the date, and you sign your geocaching name. So, and that can be sort of like your email address. It can be anything you decide.
Oh, then you put it back into the...
You put it back in. Mm-hmm.
Just say, look, I found it.
Okay.
I found it, yep.
Okay, now how many of these things come up missing?
Apparently they do. They do go missing. I have no idea the percentage.
I've never seen the big ones missing. I guess they go missing sometimes. Sometimes non-cachers they call muggles. If you ever read Harry Potter, sometimes they'll get muggled. Somebody who doesn't know what they're doing will just take the thing and throw it away or something like that. In which case, the next cacher will come and log an owner maintenance line on the logbook and on the online logbook, and then the owner usually comes out and replaces it.
Re-put something here.
Either that, or you didn't look hard enough. It's there. It's fine.
Because I saw it. I know it's there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's a fine line between geocaching and littering, I guess.
No. How many have you guys found?
We've only been doing it since May, but we've been retired, and so we've been doing it. We've been doing it several hours a day usually, and we've found a little over 300 each.
Oh my!
Yeah.
But there are people who have found 50,000.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for a long time. We're babies at this.
There's over 2 million worldwide.
May I make a comment? There's already a geocache on the public land in Auburn because the Geauga Park System is doing it, has several different sites. I went looking for one at Beartown.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it would increase your traffic at your new park down there.
That's where I'd like to put one, one or two.
Yeah.
There's I'm not sure what status it is now because there's some dying pine trees back there, but there's another trail behind Adam Hall up there too.
That'd be perfect, yeah.
It would. Question for you is, I see it, and thank you for this Stark County Park District permit application.
We went on the internet and just tried to find something if you wanted a sample. I don't know if you even need something like that.
Seems pretty...
I think if you just give
Depends
us that
on what it is.
$500,000
I'll put it somewhere else.
treasures like that.
I don't know that we need a permit, but I think it's a great idea.
It's a lot of fun.
Sounds like it'd be a lot of fun.
A lot of scout troops do this. A lot of families with little kids, they love finding things in the woods.
Yeah, we do is just contact the park district and see
what they
do too, just for approval, whether they just let them do it or if they have a form.
No, they have forms
Plagiarize.
too.
They're really jogging us.
Yeah, Geauga Park. The only thing I don't like about them, they put a time restriction on it. So it's like from March 1st to the end of the year. And to me, a lot of places, once you place it, you place the cash. It's there as long as people are finding it. So I'm not sure why they have that restriction.
So you would go like every month or so and say, hey, check on the website where somebody says, I was at that spot and I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And you would go back and say, no, it's there.
Even better, I would set up to get notified automatically.
Okay.
So every time someone visits, I would get an email so I can check. But if one person doesn't find it, I don't worry. If there's like 2 in a row, then you start wondering.
If something happens.
Yeah.
Here's the only possible question I could have the reason I would have any concern. If you go off the trail, we got like a 3/4 mile trail in the woods up here, and there's a bridge and there's some creeks and stuff like that. Do you go off the trail like significantly to place something?
Well, that would be kind of my question. If you would have concerns, you could always say keep it within 10 feet of the trail. We could do something like that.
That's about the only thing I can think of.
We could do that.
Why, you'd have some concern for it.
Well, a couple of the descriptions they describe, I read some of the descriptions, and it like go to a forked tree, left at a maple tree.
You can do that.
Over to a.
So they're not going to be going through there with a machete or anything.
No, but that's how they give you directions. When you're walking, you could read these things like a treasure hunt.
It can, or you might just give a coordinate too. That's another option too.
Okay.
If it's kind of easy to find, usually you just get the coordinates, and then there's usually a hint that they could get. So you might see, like you said, look for the maple tree.
I mean, we're allowed, people are allowed to walk in that woods anywhere they want. We have built a pretty nice trail with bridges and, geez, we meet all the regulations for high school track teams or cross-country teams and things like that. So, I mean, you wouldn't want everybody milling off the trail. Most people are going to want to stay to it, but I understand it. You don't want it.
You can't trip over,
Right. So that's the only thing. Beyond that, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
Cool.
so am I.
If I might say something, you're not going to see tons of geocachers out there. I mean, they probably won't be making new trails through there. These things. You might get a couple a month, maybe a couple a week, but that'd be about it.
No, I think it's a nice
Yeah,
idea.
and that's the other trail too up there too. Behind Adam Hall is
that'd be great.
another possibility too.
Yeah.
There's actually two loops up there. There's
There
one
one
through
now?
the woods. No, there's up at the park here. There's
Okay.
one through the woods and one through the perimeter of the field.
Oh, I saw the one for the woods. I didn't know there was one in the
Yeah, if
perimeter.
you keep going right
Okay.
around the perimeter of the field, yeah.
Okay. Well, that might be a good option, too.
A lot of space, yeah.
And we would abide by everything. Geocaching.com. It's got to be a
Sure.
10th of a mile apart.
Mhm.
So.
Mhm.
And you can have a description there, so if you wanted to say something about the property or the park, we could. Or we could just say that, put a couple in a row, 10th of a mile apart, and make them, stage 1, stage 2. Lots of flexibility with them.
Yeah, there's about a mile and a half of trails up there.
Okay.
Well, let us see what the Geauga County Park District does, and
Okay.
I mean, you got full support here, so.
Oh, that's great.
And
Do you have any in any of the adjacent townships?
There was, in Manaway, I actually copied one in that packet of one. And there on the website it says place with permission for Manaway, but I couldn't see a form on their website. There's a couple caches in Settlers Park. I didn't see where they put that there was a permission granted from Bainbridge, though.
Changed up with
So-
Bainbridge, too.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. But they have, I think there's one in River Park, too, and there's definitely one or two at Centerville Mills.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I guess
for
the
your
only thing
time.
is if we know it's there, then, if our guys or somebody happens to be up there and we see people wandering off the trail looking
Yeah.
for the geocache, at least we'll know why.
And if you see an ammo box, it's not a bomb. It's really just something that's there for fun.
You want to put
You might
crocodile
do-
on the outside of it or anything?
We will put something on the outside that says this is a geocache, so people know it's not trash or anything.
No, it's not a box, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, boxes of ammunition later on unmarked kind of make people nervous.
We'll mark them. But they're very waterproof. That's why they're really
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Filling us in, and we'll get back to you, I'm sure, in real short order.
That's good. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the chief's here. Get a report from the Auburn Volunteer Fire Company.
We've got a couple things. Well, it's not very often that we deal with good stories. Usually when we're on a call, it's usually bad news for somebody. But I thought I'd make you folks aware of it. On September 13th at 12:30, the fire department was paged for a reported car in the water 150 foot from shore by Ladue Boathouse. A 15-year-old boy, Sammy Sell, who was fishing with his cousin, heard the car hit the water. He told his cousin to call 911 as he swam out to rescue the car's occupant. He clearly was thinking about the driver as he put his own safety aside in an attempt to rescue the driver. The fire department arrived and extricated the driver, who had a medical issue, as Sammy swam back to shore. The driver was transported to the hospital and has made a full recovery thanks to Sammy's quick actions. It's very nice to report to the board that this was a successful case, and this kid, 15 years old, was thinking clearly about what to do. We're probably going to make a little plaque for him and have a little affair at the station and present it to him along with the guy that we rescued.
That'd be nice to let us know about that, too.
Yeah,
We'll let you guys know when we have the date.
Great.
Absolutely. Any questions about that?
Thanks. I read the article when I was on vacation. It popped up on my phone. It was
Yeah, it's nice that we have it out.
WTAM headlines and the whole morning, too, when the story came.
Our clam bake was successful with 250 bakes and 90 extra dozen clams served. It was a great event for the community despite the cold weather we had. You know, I didn't hear one person complain about the weather. They all said it's clam bake weather.
That's perfect.
And everybody just kind of bared with it, and we got through it. But very successful.
Being
Thanks
indoors helps.
to everybody who came.
I have to say that I think it's one of your better dinners they've ever, you know.
Clams we've been getting the last couple of years have been
Everybody around me
fantastic.
was commenting about how good they thought it was.
Yeah. So, thank you. It was a successful event. And it's always nice to get our residents in to see their fire station and their equipment, be able to talk to them, and it's nice to get together for the community.
Oh, yeah.
So, we'll be having one next year. I've also submitted a requisition for your approval. Several items on it. One is our HVAC semi-annual service for the fire department, which is done 2 times a year. Total cost is $2,500. We had a furnace that had a cracked condensate drain, which needed to be fixed. I got a quote for $250 on that. And also we had a window that developed a crack in it. Pella Windows is going to warranty the window, but we have to pay for the labor to remove and install it, which is $375.
So you want to do those on your end and just submit the bills to us then?
Correct. Provided you're okay with it.
I'll make a motion to, do a separate motion, motion to approve the replacement of the window.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Mike? Yes. PJ?
Yes.
I'll make a second motion to authorize $275 expenditure for the replacement of the condensate.
250.
215.
15, I'm sorry.
I'll second that as well.
John?
Yes.
Mike? Yes. PJ?
Yes.
John, is this a different than the one we did,
Earlier in last year,
the inspection?
it's under that contract.
Right, that's what I thought.
Right.
Twice a year.
So we haven't done it until
Right.
this year.
Okay. Well, let's just do a motion for that, too.
Okay. Do a motion to authorize the $2,500 annual PM contract for the
Buy-in,
HVAC.
semi.
Hmm?
Semi.
That's like
Semi-annual.
twice a year, right?
Yeah, twice a year.
Semi.
$2,500 per visit or for
$1,250 each visit.
$1,250 for each visit? Okay. So it's $2,500 for the year.
Year.
For the year,
Right.
Total.
Right, gotcha.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Mike? Yes. PJ?
Yes.
That's a requisition for all three.
Last item I have is our septic system down by the filter bed has developed a problem that needs to be repaired ASAP. Don't really know what it's going to involve, other than I was thinking that we would do it on an emergency time and material basis for the contractor and put a cap on it. I'm thinking it's going to be at least a day or two it's going to take them to fix it, find the problem, and deal with it. So,
Yeah, talking to John, he's estimating, probably under, but if we can, $3,000 up to for the repair. And
Up to what?
Up to $3,000.
Well, I think that's, we got to do it. Can't have septic run.
yeah, no, it's got to be dealt with right away. And
So I'll make that motion.
Second.
Either that or can you all just hold it?
You need your porta potty.
But it also serves the service garage too. So.
I know we can't hold it.
But, yeah, I'd like to get that
Yeah,
repaired
no,
as
we
quick
got
as
it.
possible.
That's got to be.
I know Chief and I discussed where we should be taking the money out of. I could set it up so that we initially have half the money coming out of road and bridge, or do a PO for the pulling off, one for road and bridge and one for the fire department, and then we decide later how much we take out of each account. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah. Huh?
50-50.
Let's just do it 50-50.
Both of them need it, so, yeah.
Either that or we could do this, John. How many guys do you have?
32.
Oh, let's.
I got 5.
And he's running the clock. Fair.
Well, so
We're only 40 hours.
that's right.
Okay, so 99% to the fire department, 1% to the road department.
Save me some money.
We don't pick any fights.
No. Now let me find out what's up and get it back.
If one of those guys is going on incessantly, I want a report on it.
Well,
We still need.
I'll let them know.
We need to get a John.
Yes.
Mike. Yes. PJ.
Yes.
If you find a specific flag, we can run a DNA test on it.
Yeah, there you go.
Time clock there. Restroom.
That's it for my report.
Does
Thank
that
you.
just really show up at the? When did that show up?
It's been there for a couple days.
That's kind of thought.
Oh.
I was driving up here and I saw him wandering off. I was going to see what kind of
I
trouble.
was out looking at it. We were just going to try to fix it ourselves, but it got to be above that. So.
Okay. Any questions for Chief Phillips regarding fire service? Moving on. Mr. Everly. Thank you, Chief.
Just continuing on patching the roads. Worked on Horseshoe and Spur and Glen. Put a lot of material down there. Once again, not a real good situation as far as the contractors up there on Horseshoe have just torn the dickens out of that road, and you got to wonder how good was it to start with. But it's going to have to be on the list for a resurface eventually. I told Emmerich, I said, let's just keep doing the greater patches until we get some more development, more of these contractors in and out of there, and then we'll put it on the list. So, having some problems with this contractor still hasn't come back to do that extra layer of eights.
Right. He hasn't been paid yet either.
And the problem, no, he hasn't, and he's not. The problem is he'll tell you, I'm coming today, he doesn't come, I'm coming in 3 days, he doesn't come, then, it's been a real problem. So I think you need to keep that in mind for any future work with this guy. It's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Other than that, Emmerich's back tomorrow, so we're going to be kind of at full strength here for a little while, and we're going to keep working on road patching. Our primary concern. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, just wanted to. You guys did a nice job on the driveway for the park.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
It's looking
Yeah, they really.
It's
really
good there.
pleased with that.
I went up there just tonight to see how it was packed. The kids were playing football. The whole walkway there, it's coming along.
Yeah.
You guys are your boys would be commended.
I'll pass that along.
And did have one call. Resident on Fox. They hadn't done the crack sealing there yet.
Mm-hmm. They're still working.
So I checked with Nancy and she confirmed that, yeah, they haven't been paid and they haven't done that one yet. So So we got
So
that.
they just submitting partial invoices.
Right, as they complete. Okay. And that's about it for excitement. I haven't, do you have anything else, Chief, that we wanted to go over? I think we took care of everything. All right, I can see by time.
Okay, Fred?
Okay, we have in front of you warrants 2597 through 2611 for your signatures. Warrants totaling $23,931.73. Also in front of you are your regular reports, the appropriation summary report, revenue summary report, and the fund status report. That's all I have.
Okay, I really have nothing to report tonight, so we're going to move into old business. Let's see, we concluded our interviews of construction manager candidates at the last meeting. Mike, Mr. Dixon was in, and you know him, you worked with him. So we kind of thought we could move along with that with if you wanted to follow up with Jim, you've got his phone number, so.
Well, I worked with Jim extensively with the fire department, so, we evaluated the other people to see if anyone was, I would feel, me personally would feel was more qualified. Having worked with Jim on the fire department, as well as with Larson, I think they both did an exemplary job for us. And it would be, if I were to make I'll make the motion. I think that we should go with Larson Architects and Jim, and should we do them separately?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Separately. Now, how does this work, PG? We have to negotiate with them.
We do. We have to negotiate a fee, Mike. We can, pretty hard to negotiate, hire them without having that fee settled upon.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's...
And I'm going to go a little further with that, too, is that Fred and I have been in discussions, and Fred's been talking with goes back to the Budget Commission and auditor about potential methods of finance here as well. So, yeah, I'm going to concur with you. I would be absolutely comfortable working with Dixon. That's where I'm going to go, too. But we do have a negotiated fee with them now. And I think we also have to nail down, we have to come close to a budget here where we're going with this.
Right.
And this is where we've been working, and, you've talked to the bank and you've talked to the auditor, and there's, I threw out a possibility here a while back of maybe, could we shift? This is something that they do quite a bit in other townships. We have never done it here. But this being kind of a unique case, could you shift some general fund money to R&B in order to back this potential if we go for a loan of the inside millage? Would this make it more attractive to a bank? Could we lower interest that way?
I'm certainly looking at all the options.
Right now, we've always been here at 1.6 road, 1.4 general.
What are they asking for, Fred?
I'm sorry, what's that?
What are they asking for?
The bank, as far as interest goes?
No, for collateral.
For collateral? Well, they're going to take a mortgage on the building.
Okay.
I mean, they're not going to encumber any of our funds as collateral. They're looking at what have we been spending out of the general fund, what have we been spending out of our other funds. So that's what Middlefield is taking a look at. So
the other key is what would we have for cash on hand?
Yeah, that's what the...
Right.
So I guess one of the things we need to do is establish, we know a very loose number.
Very loose, yeah.
Right.
I think we got to nail
So
that down.
are they looking for a commitment to, I imagine they're looking to commit funds And they need to know what that number is going to be.
They are going to eventually need us.
How accurate do we need to give that to get a further commitment from them?
Well, I think they are going to want to see eventually contract, obviously, with the whatever contractor, architect, engineer, contractors. As far as nailing down an actual interest rate, they want a firm number for that, as firm as we can get it.
Okay. What do you talk about? What years? What?
Well, no, if to nail down an interest rate, what they are going to want to see. I mean, they can give us 30, 60 days, whatever.
No, I mean length of 10-year loan, 5-year loan.
Oh, for a 25-year.
25 years.
Yeah.
Are they?
For
Would you
term.
work with us on that? I mean, if we think we can do it in a different time frame.
Yeah.
Shorter, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, the way I
That's the
had
kind of
it,
thing I think we got to sort
the way I
out.
had it quoted from them was as a 25-year.
Yeah, what we have to nail down is what can we come up with for an annual payment? What would be comfortable for us? And then over 25 years, that's going to somewhat establish what our ceiling is going to be on the building.
I think it does, yes.
So we kind of have to work back. We have to work in both directions. We have to have the bank on the one side, but then we have to get the engineer or the architect and the construction manager to start to get us focused in on what the final price of a solid price.
Jim would be able to then instruct Larson.
Yes, I think John's on right there.
This is our budget. And so I think, it would be important here to, then Jim can get us that number that we can then in turn take back to the financing aspect of it.
And I think what John's getting at is I think you get your construction manager on board first.
Right.
It might be just a 2-week difference, but I think you get him on board first.
Jim's going to be, we kind of talked with him when you weren't here, but he's going to be our representative in everything.
Well, he backed us up really well in the fire department.
Right.
Everything he did was in our interest.
Right, absolutely. And so I'm very much in favor of having him as our construction manager. He's very good to work with. Boy, he just finished a similar facility. And
Auburn Career Center. Same kind of sizes we're potentially thinking
very
about.
similar project. So, I would like to proceed if we can, and then we still have to take at the next meeting, we're going to have to get Jim here and negotiate with him for a fee.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yes.
We need to do that for the architect then as well.
Yeah,
The first
we
guy,
will, but we'll have our construction manager with us, and
get
we'll also
on
have a pretty solid idea as to what size garage we're doing here. And this is after we're going to discuss once we get construction manager on board, you discuss do you tear it down and rebuild on site? Do you ship the new building over a little bit? This is the kind of thing we work with him before we get the architect in.
Right, Jim's going to be very valuable in that.
Okay. Well,
So I'm going to ask you to withdraw your motion at this point, but we're going to deal with this in short order. But like I said, I think, Fred, what are we going to carry over? Can we throw how much of that can we throw towards this building? And then we go to the alternate forms of financing, such as a loan. Can we make that work? Do we shift some inside millage over to guarantee that's going to work?
Yeah, and just without getting specific, things are kind of, they're not completely up in the air, but because we did shift a lot of money out of the general fund this year for road and bridge projects, and then we have, but I'm not sure how that's going to play out next year because we've got income that's going to be coming in from our new levy that we didn't have this year. So I'm not sure how much of a carryover we're going to have, but
you want
We
me
will-
or any one of us to go sit down with the auditor and try, because this is going to be the biggest thing we're doing in the near future.
Yeah.
So, I'd be
Well, I think
happy
it's a
to go.
discussion that we need to have as far as talking to Emmerich and figuring out, is he going to need money from the general fund for operating budget for next year? How much is he going to need, et cetera, et cetera. So,
And will not at this point, for practical reasons, rule out the possibility of a levy to do this. Won't rule it out. Don't want to do it. Think we can get away with that.
right.
They have to look at every option.
But it's going to take a little bit of time, I think, to put all of that together.
Well, just, I talk at least a weekly basis up there, so and everybody else can do the
I
same.
think the time frame is, Fred, to at least do what you have to do.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to take too much time, but it's not something I'd want to just throw off the cuff either.
But do we want to parallel working with at least the construction manager up front so we can start getting some...
Oh, I think we can bring them
dollars?
on, but let's get the fee negotiated out here first, and then we'll be done with that.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
I think you need to make a motion to
make
use
a
it
motion
before
to
you
Go into negotiations with
go into negotiations.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense.
Okay, that'll be my motion.
With Jim Dixon as construction manager.
Right.
And I'll second that.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
Receive those. Just saying we received them.
Okay, county engineers doing a safety seminar on, this is by and large over trenching and underground work, right?
Mm-hmm.
In light of what happened in the county here this summer, I think I'm all on board with that. We need a motion to send these guys.
Yeah, and we were discussing that we felt we should send one or everybody. I don't know if you guys concur. This is an important enough issue that I think every one of them should attend.
Yeah, I agree. And we just further, continuing education. So.
Right. So I'll make the motion to send the road department, road department employees to the engineer safety class on October 23rd.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes. Cemetery deed was down that way. Did it come back?
Yes.
Yes. The health reimbursement accounts, Fred?
The only thing I need to know is, are we going to have the HRA for the next plan year match up with the deductibles?
That's a key thing of our compensation for our guys, so I'm going to say since that really hasn't been alluded to, then yes.
Motion?
I'll second.
I'll make that a motion, then yes.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes. Medical Mutual renewal?
That was circulated in July. We don't really need to vote on that. The information was circulated in July. It's renewed, it automatically renews.
This was with Sean Sprouse, and he did some work for us as his job.
Yeah, what he did was he took a look at all the other providers that they have that are available to them, and they couldn't come up with a provider that could offer a lower premium. And all of the all the items that we have in our plan. So, unfortunately, it's a higher premium, and the deductibles are a little bit higher, but that's across the board for everybody.
The people in that industry and everybody else are pulling their hair out right about
Yeah,
that.
with the ACA, it's just become a mess for everybody.
Okay, so you don't need an action on that?
Unless you guys want to not move forward with it, that would be the only action that I would need.
I don't sense any of that.
Nope.
Okay, Auburn alumni has requested to use Adam Hall for their annual reunion next May. And, we did a little research on that. The last class graduated from Auburn High School in 1952. So that'll tell you some of the average age of our folks that are in the Auburn Alumni Association. I'm honored that they want to hold that there. And I thought maybe that we could work some of our senior scout members into maybe the cleanup for it there, and do whatever we can to get Auburn alumni in that building.
Absolutely.
Is there going to be a setup, or do we have to set up ourselves?
Well, it's way out. It's off into May of next year.
All right.
So,
I'm sure we can
well,
con the scouts into setting up also.
Yeah, I guess what I'm getting at is we'll be more than happy to get you in there.
Whatever you need us to do.
Thank you.
So, I'll make a motion that we put them in Adam Hall. I'm going to waive the fees, that's what I'm saying.
I'll second that.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
I saw them last time they had a kegger. They made a mess.
Oh, dear.
They're going to be out of there by 7.
Well, I think it's nice. So, okay, anybody else want to comment tonight? You guys up here for class, or all right? We didn't think we were drawing such a young crowd anymore. So, can we get your name? Put them in the minutes then.
Sure.
Okay.
Just come up and see me after we adjourn, and I'll get your names, if you don't mind.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Anyone else? Anything? Thank you all for coming. For a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.